Welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton here at Lytham Golf Academy. Iron head to head with TaylorMade this time. Obviously got the new P790 iron, okay, which is just about to get released as we're shooting this video. I've done a review on that on my channel, so you can go and check that out, and I've put it up against the TaylorMade M1. Okay, so for me, it could be quite an interesting video here, because this is where we've obviously got a P family and an M family. So M is really obviously M2, M1, which are your more sort of forgiving irons, distance irons, and then we've got the P family, which is more for players, or that's what the P stands for, players irons, so forged. And obviously there's 4 different models eventually going to be launched in the P, different types of heads. Now the P790, as I've done in my review, is the sort of larger, more forgiving, more powerful one of the P family. The M1 is the sort of smaller one of the M2 in a way. So this is where these irons are going to transition. So you're going to go, if somebody might be looking at this type of iron and going to go from P790 and then transition the next one as it's just jump in the family is going to be the M1. So these two are 7 irons. They're both 30.5 degrees of loft, so exactly the same loft here. Obviously the P is the forged, the M is the non-forged. Maybe a little bit more forgiveness possibly in the M1, which we're going to have maybe a little look at, and maybe look at some, if there's any differences in distance here, spin numbers, and also give you guys a bit of an idea of looks and feel, and maybe hopefully give you an idea of which one you possibly would be more suited to as an individual, as a golfer. Okay, so we're going to start off with the M1 iron first. I've set myself up out at 180 yards from the flag here on the simulator. So loft of the iron around the sort of 30-degree mark should hit me around that sort of number. So obviously as I present this down by the ball, it's quite a sort of square look. Obviously we've seen a little bit of offset here. We've got the face slots on the M1, which I quite like because it sort of frames the ball. Quite a thickish squared off top edge here, so it is, you know, a bit of a thick top edge to look at. Let's give this first one a hit. Yeah, it's a nice high towering ball flight there. Not a bad strike to start off with. So that's carrying out at 176. Okay, now that's a little bit low in the face there. Wasn't the best of strikes, but still, yeah, carried 180 there, so it's still hitting target, hit the green with a decent bit of distance there. So possibly that speed slot in the sole there, when you miss the strike low in the face, obviously just gets that face flexing a little bit. So just keeping ball speed up across the face. Now there is a speed slot on the 790 in the sole, but not face slots. Okay. Yeah, another good solid strike there. Definitely seeing a high towering ball flight. Ball flight there, hitting the green again, 183 carry. So it's a good carry distance with that M1. Obviously it's not forged, so I'm not feeling that ultra soft sort of feedback. A little bit more of a clickier, louder sort of sound there. Okay, so we're going to hit one more with the M1, and then we'll switch over to the P790. Yeah, again, another solid ball flight, nice high towering flight. Very, very easy to get this ball flighted with this M1. It does look very inviting to hit. You've seen a thicker top edge, so you've seen sort of a bit of what I would call a bit of beef behind the club in a way. It's not a technical term, that's just the way I sort of describe it. But definitely looks like it's forgiving. I think it is forgiving. You know, saw that strike, one of those slightly low in the face, still hit a decent distance number there. So speed slots, hopefully getting that face flexing. Okay, so let's switch over to the P790, hit some shots with that, then we'll look at some numbers. Okay, so now I've got the P790 iron in our hands. So for me, straight away, a far better looking golf club for me personally. You know, that filled in back, it's obviously hollow, we've got that speed foam inside it. So this is sitting in obviously the P family here, but as their most forgiving, most powerful iron or forged iron in this P family that they've developed. So again, I have done a review on here, so you can go and check that out, but for a bit more of a detailed look of this golf club. But as straight away I'm seeing maybe differences between this and the M1 is less offset. Okay, it's a different finish on it. Obviously we're losing the face slots here now, so it's a little bit more of a cleaner look. Still a fairly thickish top edge, and probably very similar, fraction thinner than M1, but not a lot in it to be honest, but definitely less offset there. I'm guessing I'm going to see a bigger difference in feel as this is forged. Okay, let's get the first one here. Yeah, not a bad opening shot. Wasn't the best of strikes there. A little bit low on the face, but that's still up and out there. That's pretty good. As I say, this is the same loft as the M1 at 30.5 degrees. That's a nice golf shot. Yeah, I mean, definitely feels softer there. Definitely feeling that forged head. It's still quite a clicky sort of sound to it. Probably because I don't know whether it's that hollow design there gives that little bit more of a clickier sort of sound. But two nice opening shots there. I think for me personally, I prefer the look of the P790. You know, I prefer that sort of neater look. Obviously, a forged head I would obviously prefer there as well in terms of a bit of feedback and feel. But everybody's a little bit different, everybody wants different things. So, but this is maybe where these two, I'm guessing, I'm going to look at some numbers here in a minute, but I'm guessing they're going to, performance-wise, might not be much difference in the length of the golf shot. Spin number, be quite interested to look at, whether there's any big differences of the spin. Both got sole slots, speed slots in the sole here. But I think mainly the look and the feel is going to be the biggest difference, probably I would say, between these two irons. Okay, let's hit the third shot of the 790. Yeah, it's good. Nothing wrong with that flight at all. Feels good, looks good. Looks like it's going to stop pretty quick at the other end when it lands, which is always good. Okay, so just going to hit the last shot here with the P790 and have a look at some numbers. Not missed a green yet with any of the shots, so hopefully I can hit the green with this last one, keep the record going. I've just probably jinxed that now, but let's give this one a go anyway. Oh, that looks pretty good. Just leaking a little bit. There you go, I've just jinxed it. Missed the green. Had to happen sooner or later. But again, good hit, 185 carry there. And that's a little bit of a pushy shot there. So it's not like I've turned that over right to left to gain those extra yards. Quite a powerful club by the looks of it. Well, it seems to be keeping up with everyone. But let's go and look at some numbers in a little bit more detail. Okay, so let's look at some numbers. So club head speed, just short of 94. 95.8, so a bit quick with the P790. I didn't really feel that difference in speed there. Didn't try and swing any harder or any slower with any of them, just try to put a normal sort of 7.9 swing on it. Ball speed, exactly the same. So you could look at this and think, well, I've actually swung it a little bit quicker, but the ball speed hasn't sort of reflected that. I'll probably say I didn't quite strike the 790 as good as probably the M1 irons, which is probably where that difference has just come from. But ultimately, those numbers are very similar here. We're looking at launch angle, so pretty much identical. Backspin, pretty much identical as an average. Descent angle, 48 against 49. Peak height, 37, 38. So both these irons are getting up there. Okay, really sort of high flight. The last one they see, that was the pushy one, just left the face open, obviously went a little bit higher than the others, so hence why they peaked out at 41 yards. Distance, absolutely the same. Right guys, so there have it, the P790 against the M1, both obviously from TaylorMade. So this is the part, as I mentioned before, transitioning from the P range, the players' irons, into the sort of forgiving M family here. So this could be a really bit of a quandary maybe for you guys as to which one you would want. Do you want that forged feel, that more of a neater, maybe not so much neater, but a bit more of a sort of player's look in a way, less offset with the P790? Or do you like to see that little bit more offset, that obviously the face slots that you're getting with the M1? Okay, it's definitely one for you guys to go out there and test yourself. You see from my numbers there, very, very similar. Okay, it would be interesting to see if I could actually get the swing speed exactly the same. You can't always do that, unfortunately. As I say, there's no reason why I swung that quicker. The weights are the same, shafts are the same, so it didn't really feel like I swung that quicker, but obviously I did there. But I think, for me personally, look-wise, P790 all day long. I don't like to see too much offset there. I like the finish of it, that sort of brushed satin sort of finish there. I think the feel of it, obviously, 790, I prefer that forged feel, that sort of slightly softer sort of feel off the club face. And the fact that you still get some big numbers in terms of distance-wise, and the spin numbers are ridiculously low there, which is good. Obviously, you go M2, stronger lofts. You know, we see a drop off on that spin number, but then you see an increase of distance. So it's trying to get a bit of best of both worlds. So I want that control, which I seem to get in both of those irons. But definitely for me, the 790 just would edge it over with looks and actual feel. Okay, 2 really good irons though. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do comment down below if you've got any questions regarding this video. Share it around with your golfing buddies. Hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.